Everyday life's happening. Some days are more eventful. Others, living protected with insurance you can depend on changes your life for the better. We insure the people and things you care about. Not Agency. We'll help you find the right coverage so when life happens, you have the right insurance protection for your family and business. When life happens, live protected. Agency for all your insurance needs.
Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Tuesday, August the 8th. I've got a friend on one side and a brand new friend on the other side. We'll introduce you to in a minute. Ed Hanson, Talking Horse Production. Good to have you back again, Ed.
Thank you so much.
You're here to talk about a production that you have opening very soon.
This week. This Friday, called The Lyons.
What's The Lyons about?
Well, The Lyons is Lyons, so it is not anything to do with an African animal. It's the last name of a family that is from New York. They are a very dysfunctional family, and it's a dark comedy. If you can kind of think about how All in the Family was sort of dark comedy, they dealt with a lot of kind of raw material, but tried to bring a lot of humor to it also.
So is this the Bunkers maybe in the year 2000?
Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
Is Archie in there?
Well, they're all curmudgeons in this one, which is... makes for a really interesting story.
Yeah.
But I'll just give you an example. In the opening scene, we find they're in a hospital room, and the patriarch of the family, Ben, is dying of cancer.
Okay.
And
is that the father?
The father.
Okay.
And so his wife, Rita, is sitting in the chair next to him.
That would be Edith.
And instead of having this wonderful conversation about, haven't you had a great life and so forth, she's looking through decorating magazines, trying to decide how she's going to redo the living room after he's gone, because he won't let her change the living room, and she can hardly wait to get to that living room to get some redecorating.
Does he realize that as he's dying?
Yes, and they're just at war with each other. Then their two kids come in, and we find out that the parents haven't even bothered to tell the kids yet about Dad, because they were busy. Mom plays backgammon, and it was just, off of her radar a little bit.
I would say that this is a dysfunctional family.
Very much.
Does it end? Does it end on an upbeat note, or are we going to leave feeling depressed?
No, I don't think you'll leave depressed. I think it ends with a little ray of hope that maybe at least one of the family members is going to come through this okay.
Does Ben die?
I can't tell you that.
Okay, so we'll just have to go see and find out. It's called The Lyons, and you open when?
We open August 11th, which is this Friday.
Okay.
And we'll be running this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the following week, Thursday through Sunday.
That's Talking Horse Production, and your location is?
Our location is down on the beautiful St. James Street in North Village.
Yeah. In the Arts District.
In the Arts District, the big purple warehouse building with orange windows and doors. If you drive by that and miss it, you had your eyes closed.
Okay. All right. So look for the big sign, Talking Horse Production.
That's right.
All right. Ed Hanson, always a pleasure to have you here. So go see The Lyons and think of All in the Family when you're there. All right?
Oh, yeah, indeed.
Now, I want to introduce you to a young lady who drove all the way from St. Louis to be with us today. First time on Radio Friends, CAMILLE Smith. Good to have you here, Camille.
Thank you for having me, Paul.
From the St. Louis District Dairy Council.
Indeed.
And for many, many years, we had a wonderful relationship with St. Louis District Dairy Council on Pepper and Friends on our television show with Mary Thompson. And Mary passed away about 8 or 9 years ago, but people still remember her and talk about her. She was a great lady. And she passed along a lot of good information about dairy products. Sometimes dairy products get kind of pushed to the back of our mind in modern day, but they're really very important for us.
They still are very important.
Yeah. Having a glass of milk a day is good for us.
Indeed, and having 3 glasses of milk a day is even better for you.
Yeah.
That's the recommendation for us.
Okay. Is for 3 glasses of milk a day?
Yes, or other dairy products. You could always choose yogurt or cheese to meet your calcium needs.
Mm-hmm. What is better for you if you drink whole milk or skim milk? Is there any difference in the nutrient value?
Not at all. The main difference in skim milk versus whole milk is going to be the fat. So for most healthy adults, we can opt for a low-fat dairy product like a low-fat 1% milk or a skim milk. There are still some in our younger population, people under the age of 2, I believe, for whom it's still appropriate to drink whole milk. But for most of us, once we pass that age of 2, we can transition to a low-fat dairy product, and we get all the same nutrients, just not as much fat and not as many calories.
And that's the same thing with the cottage cheese too?
Correct. Just a difference in the fat content when
The
you choose
low-fat
a
cottage
low-fat.
cheese. And you can't taste the difference? Can you taste the difference?
Some people with really discerning taste can notice a difference in maybe the mouthfeel or the fullness, but most of us don't really know the difference. I can't tell much of a difference, but everybody has different taste buds.
Yeah. Now, when you talk about ice cream, we just finished National Ice Cream Month in July,
Correct.
right? Okay, ice cream. Is ice cream good for you, or is it one of those products that you need to enjoy sparingly?
That's a great question. Well, I am a registered dietitian, so I'll of course say that treats like ice cream we should still enjoy in moderation, but it absolutely fits into a healthy diet. And I think compared to a lot of other dessert options, ice cream has an advantage just because it does have some calcium, it does have some protein. You are going to get more nutrients in it than perhaps another frozen dessert. So it has a nutritional advantage.
What's the difference between ice cream or that soft serve?
Like custard?
Yeah, is that what it is? It's real white. It's called soft serve.
If it's a soft serve, it could be a soft serve, maybe a low-fat ice cream. There are so many different options available. I might have to look at the label to be able to tell the difference. But there are specific guidelines in place for different labelings of dairy desserts.
Are you getting as much calcium and protein when you eat a cup of ice cream as when you drink a cup of milk?
That's a great question. You are not getting as much calcium, nor are you getting as much protein when
because
you're choosing
getting more
ice cream.
sugar with the ice cream, right?
Exactly. It's not as nutrient dense as is a glass of milk or a cup of yogurt. You still get some of the nutrients, but not the full nutrient
appreciate
profile.
your honesty. I appreciate the honesty there.
It's still one that you choose in moderation.
Yeah, it would be easy to say, well, I'll just eat a cup of ice cream and that'll be my cup of milk for the day.
Especially during the month of July, I wish that we could use them interchangeably, but not exactly. Still enjoy it in moderation.
So we're just about out of time, but what is the biggest misconception that people have about dairy products?
I think it goes in and out of style sometime, but don't forget about dairy as a fantastic and an economical source of nutrients. It is a fantastic nutrient profile. It's inexpensive, and it really offers you those 9 essential nutrients that your body requires.
Okay, I can throw in one more question. You
Sure.
answered that quickly. Is a soft cheese healthier, like a cream cheese? Is it healthier for you than a hard cheese?
That's a good question. I'd have to look at the individual nutrient profile for each one. I would say read the nutrient label and ask us specifically by contacting the Dairy Council. We could look it up and find out.
Okay, you're good. Thank you, Camille. Appreciate it.
You
Have
bet.
a safe trip back to St. Louis now.
Thank you.
Okay, we're out of time for today. Tomorrow we've got Native Plant Talk with Nadia. We want to thank you so much for listening, and if there's something you'd like to hear or see, drop me an email. I'd love to hear from you, pepperp, missouri.edu.